Hello, bonjour, Annie, hola. My name is Garrett, and I am the interim artistic director here at Fringe North this season. Super happy to be back here on our live Fringe North Roundtable, which we'll be doing. Actually, we're not doing them anymore. This is our last one. I was going into the default speech. This is our last Thursday roundtable, which is crazy to say. The festival's next week. Next Thursday, we'll be in festival mode, which is super exciting to say. Um, yeah, I next week, starting August 21st, Fringe North. So make sure to come on by and come to the festival. Um, I guess before we jump into it, thanks for tuning into the roundtable so far this year. We've had a really great time doing it. We've had some awesome guests come on. We've had some really great conversations. We love doing these, and the support of tuning in each week has been really great for us, and we hope we can keep doing these next season. But for today, in our special last roundtable of the season, I am joined by two of our amazing team members, Caitlin and Katie, and we're going to chat a little bit about what you can expect next week as we go to festival mode. So before we jump into that, if you two wanna say hi, introduce yourselves.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm Katie. I'm the Tourism Development Officer here at Fringe North. It's my second summer working here and I really enjoy it.
Hi everyone, I'm Caitlin. I am the interim artistic producer at Fringe North for this season, and this will be my fourth year working at Fringe. So really excited, fourth year, third year in the position. So yeah, really excited to be here and to get to chat with all of you today.
Yeah, amazing. So what I'd love to do today, and I want to say before we jump into this, we're going to be looking at some of the shows and doing a little bit of a we walk through on how you can get tickets and what next week's going to look like. But before we jump into that, and I mean, confirm or deny this, Caitlin, but I feel like I've been seeing just a massive influx of ticket sales this year, which has been very not very different from previous years. I don't want to say like people haven't bought tickets in previous years, but it's been super exciting to see the level of engagement already at this point. Like we're still, a week out, and been seeing like we get I think both of us the notifications every time someone buys a ticket, and it's just been constant. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. It feels like we're this year's the level of engagement has grown.
Yeah, it definitely has, and we really thank all of you who have purchased tickets in advance. Really exciting. There's still lots available. I don't want to make it seem like they're not available, but compared to usual, in previous years there'd be days without ticket sales, and then we would get like closer to festival,
Yeah.
like the day once it starts, people would purchase online. But this year, we have really sold a lot of tickets in advance. We have sold across to many shows as well. I don't think at this point every single show has sold a ticket yet, but like comparatively to other years, we have a good spread as
Yeah.
well. And then of course we do have some that have sold out. So that is also very, very exciting to see.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a different vibe than in previous years for sure. So please, if you're watching and you want to see something, like go grab your tickets fast because I don't know how fast different ones will sell out.
Yeah, 100%. And in previous years, uh, we have sold out shows before, but I think it's been in tandem with like I don't think we've ever done pre-sale at this point selling out shows. It's
Mhm.
usually like a combination of pre-sale tickets and then a little bit at the door. Um, and so if you're coming into it expecting that you can like come at the door and get tickets and you don't have to worry about buying them in advance, say in previous years that has often been the case, but like seeing the pace of this, I honestly don't know, which is really great for us. But if you want to see shows, you should jump on it because they might sell out. And so,
Yeah.
as Kayla mentioned, some have already.
Yeah, I think last year our fastest one sold out on the Thursday of festival, so pretty
Right.
much the first full day of festival, um this is the first time that it's happened before the festival actually started.
And I also want to say, and we're going to go do a little bit of a scan through all the shows. But if you were hoping to see a show and it happened to get sold out, check out one of the other ones. I know a lot of people in the community are hoping to, support people they've worked with or friends or family. But take a chance on some of the other amazing art. We have so many cool shows, especially some of the out of town ones who might not have that like built-in community support. Definitely check them out. We got some amazing artists coming in from out of town as well. We're gonna go over all of them, but yeah, give some cool art a chance. We have a whole bunch to offer this year, more than ever. So yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, and if you're out of town, come join us as well. And maybe Katie can speak to that a little bit, being our tourist development officer, as to what people can enjoy if they why come, I guess, from out of town.
Yeah, I can speak to that. I've lived in Sault Ste. Marie my whole life, so I know my way around. I personally, if I was to travel there, I would definitely check out Whitefish Island. That's right in the heart of our downtown. Beautiful place, tons of history there. It's a traditional gathering place, traditional fishing place. It's a natural conservatory place. I forget the word right now, but it's nature. It's beautiful. There's a lot of wildlife for you to enjoy there. We also have a lot of amazing beachfronts for Lake Superior that are just gorgeous. The water's always nice and crisp. I love it. So take a train tour to Agua Bay, I believe is happening now, or maybe closer to the fall time. And we have a lot of things to do in town too. Like I know there's some game places like Soup Blasters that's super fun to go to with the family. We have Elliot's Ice Cream. That's an amazing place to go to just for fun with the family. There's a bunch of other stuff too. Like the museum is also an amazing place to go to learn about the city's history. We have the boardwalk, we have a wall. It's very cute.
Yeah, and as you're talking to, I'm noticing, I mean, it depends on your capabilities for those watching, but if you are someone who has good walking capabilities, like a lot of those Elliot's Ice Cream is within walking distance from the museum. Same with, well, the museum is at where the festival is. Whitefish Island is relatively close. Soup Blasters is also down around there too. So there's lots of places that you could actually walk to from the festival locations. And yeah, and did we want to talk about how there's 3 venues? Sorry, I was gonna mention it, and then I didn't know if you had plans to like head towards that, Garrett.
No, not in particular. I
Okay.
mean, probably going through the shows, I'd like say where things are, but yeah, this year we're a little bit more spread out than previous years. We're still very rooted at the museum, as Caitlin mentioned, but we're also at the old CTV building, which is now called Stardust. And that is right beside the museum. If you've been to Fringe previously or you've been to the museum before, there's that like back area, like the behind the museum where there's like an alleyway with Browers Jansen. The back is there as well. Across is where Stardust is, the old CTV building, and we have an amazing venue this year that will be in there. And also we have our opening ceremonies happening in there. So if you want to, even before the festival, like or like really starts, or like right when we're kicking off, you want to check out that new venue, come to the opening ceremonies. We have a whole bunch of samples of some of the art that we can showcase, and you can check out this really cool space that we're super lucky to have this year. And then also we are really happy to be working with the Art Gallery of Algoma this year. We have Friday and Saturday, we have shows that are running out of that venue as well. And it's for sure walkable to the museum. I'd say it's about a 5-minute walk from the museum, kind of a straight shot down east from the side of the museum. You go down past the library, and yeah, from there also, as Katie was talking about, you can get to the boardwalk and the waterfront, and it's a really pretty area. So super happy to be kind of spreading out and closer to that place, and a lot of tourism sites all around spread out through there. So if you're coming for the festival, there's a whole bunch else to do. There's enough to do during the festival itself, but if you want to branch out a little bit into the rest of the city, there's plenty around the area.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm really excited for with festival this year too is that, as Garrett said, there's so much to do during festival. We do also have vendors this year. Different ones will be popping up different days, so keep an eye out on our schedule to hear more about that. As well as our Kids Fringe is running on Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 2. So please come on out and enjoy, or actually I think it's 2:30. So come on out and enjoy those various elements. There'll be lots of stay and play activities that you can do throughout festival. We'll have our silent auction that's continuing from some of the items that were left over from our fundraiser event. So you'll be able to come out and bid on those. And especially if you were at that event, had your eye on something, decided not to bid and regretted it, it might still be there. So come on out and make a donation, and yeah, you could get that prize.
Yeah, absolutely. I was also, what else was I going to mention? I was also going to say, as we have in the last few years, we also have our digital content. So I want to make sure we're shouting them out as well. If you are not able, unfortunately, to make it to the festival, we have, first of all, 4 digital shows that you can check out by purchasing tickets through our website, which we'll see when we look through there. Also, we are live streaming every show that is happening in the new Stardust space, which I believe is 6 or 7 shows. It'll be listed on the website as well. So there's tons of content that you can check out, even if you're not physically in the Sioux. So that's super exciting as well. And also in the realm of digital content, we have one of our artists, Nancy Edwards, who will be doing a Zoom Q&A talking about the work that she has submitted to the festival. That will be on Saturday at 3:30. It's listed on the website, and Katie is going to be hosting that Zoom Q&A. So we're super excited for that. It's a really great way to get our artists from afar more involved and integrated with the festival. You can check that out in person in our digital space, or you can do it from outside of the city as well, or inside the city, but outside the museum if you really want. Is there anything else that is exciting to either of you that you want to mention about the festival this season?
I always mention this when I'm asked what excites me most about the festival, but I really love that JP Charlikoff is coming again, and his puppet Bobby. I love him so much. He's so funny.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We're
That's
super
my favorite part.
Yeah, he'll be part of Kids Fringe both days, which is super exciting.
Amazing show. Really recommend that one. That one's so fun. I watched it last year.
Yeah.
And I think I enjoyed it more than my niece and nephew who were little.
Yeah, it's great for all ages. I watched it just by myself and enjoyed it. What about for you, Caitlin?
Yeah. Oh, there's so much. I think, yeah, just getting to see everything come together, because we do have a lot of moving parts this year compared to normal, which honestly on the production side is also a little bit scary and intimidating. And I hope it goes well, and please have grace with us if it doesn't, because we are learning. But to see all those pieces like simultaneously happening, and like that's one of my favorite things about festivals, actually getting to like sit back and watch the crowd kind of enjoying everything and seeing it all flow. So hopefully with having, vendors and Kids Fringe and our visual artists and our digital content and our performing shows and all of the different venues, being able to just see those moments where things are running smoothly and nicely, and that people are just having a good time together and getting to enjoy the space and to see their uplifted spirits just really makes it all worth it, and all the energy and effort that we put into it. And the long nights, the sometimes tears in some cases when things aren't working. It makes it all worth it to see people's lives touched by the art in specific, and to just see the community coming together and people being able to bond through it. That I think is one of my favorite elements of festival, and I'm hoping that we have many of those moments throughout this year's festival.
Yeah, very well said. And I think we will, just the way things are looking. I'm glad you mentioned it really quick before we flip over. I do want to give a shout out to the visual artists as well. You want to touch on that, Caitlin, because you are one of our visual artists this year.
I always feel a little bit awkward about that, but sure. Yeah, so we have visual artists popping up in different spaces. So we'll have their art up for the entirety of the festival. And you can actually kind of like there's a little map that one of our teammates, Avery, created, and you can use it to go around and actually like find where the different visual artists, I guess like sections are up, to see that artwork. And yeah, I'm a little bit intimidated and nervous about that piece too, because I've never actually put my artwork out to the world before, so this is a first for me.
Yeah, I haven't, well, I've seen a little bit of what you've been working on. I'm super excited to see uh the full thing, which is it's super cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
this year we got really lucky with visual artists. So we have a really interesting array of visual arts. We have um like sculpture, we have quilting, we have painting. We have some like digital visual pieces. So we really like run the whole spectrum on visual arts. So we got really lucky that way. So I'm super
Mhm.
excited for that component as well.
Yeah, one thing I think that people don't always know about Fringe festivals is that we don't censor content and it is first come, first serve. So some years we could get like the same type of art from everybody. Even with our performing art too, it is first come, first serve. So trying to have hope for that balance of getting different types of art, because different, music resonates with some people, painting resonates with others, puppetry, like all of the different things, our poetry, there's so many different layers and so many different options for what resonates with everybody, that hoping and just like keeping our fingers crossed during applications that there's a good mix so that everybody can enjoy something, is part of like I guess what makes the festival really fun each year too, because we don't know what's going to come forward, and that different array of visual artists this year really is quite unique, I think. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We got really lucky this year. Um, I mean, not that it's a horrible thing to have similar types of art, but it is really cool to see that we have art from like every medium basically this year, throughout all our different streams, including busking is going to be back this year, which I feel like we haven't really mentioned that enough, but I'm super, super excited for busking coming back. We have a few of our artists that are participating elsewise in the festival who are graciously stepping up to be some of our first buskers in a few years. So we've got some cool juggling and music, and I believe some drag as well going on. So very excited for that. Busking has been deeply missed by the community for the last few years. We've heard the feedback on that. So very excited to have that coming back. Amazing. All right. How about we switch over and take a look at some of the shows this year? Take a look at all the shows, actually. I'm gonna go over to our ticketing page. I'm also gonna do a little bit of a run through on how to buy a ticket. So I think that will be good. All right. You can see my screen?
yep.
Awesome. So I'll go to our home. So if you go to SueFringe.com, you go to here. This is a very scary number. This used to be a lot higher. Now it's 6 days. Um, from here, you can either go into the 2024 festival and click ticketing here, or you can just scroll down to this little thing. 2024 tickets are on sale now. Purchase your tickets now. And either way, you're going to be brought to this page that we started on. So let's take a little bit of a adventure and see all the artists that we've got this year. This is a little bit of a guide on some of the division. Red is digital, black is live content. Kids Fringe is cyan, cyan, I think, right? I never know how to say that color, the printer color. And purple is music. And as noted here again, live tickets can be purchased at the door, but like we were saying, it's probably smart to do it in advance because shows might sell out. So, Samantha Buttery, What Remains. This is one of our emerging artists in residency performance creators. This is we had a great tech meeting earlier today, and we were talking about this is one of our few like traditional comedies that we actually have at the festival. So super excited to have that because it's a very serious year, as you'll see in some of the other content. So very excited to have her. She's coming up from Sudbury. And just as a way to kind of show how to buy tickets, If you go, and this is the same for any artist, you can go into here. This is like the product page tickets. You're going to select one of your show times. So Sam is on the 23rd, 24th, 25th. Let's say we want 24th. You can see the Stardust stage is called the Chikora stage, but it also says Stardust. You can select your pay what you can amount here, whatever you would like to pay. I'm just going to do, you can select your quantity. You can just do one, hit buy now, and there you go. Then you can check out. Easy. Awesome. All right. By the way, this is the link to get tickets for the live stream of this as well. Since this is a Stardust show, you can get your live stream tickets also. We also have another play, Brendan Riddle, Me, Myself, and I for an Eye. This is another play about I believe growing up in an abusive family. So this is one of our heavier productions. This one will be at the museum space, which is on the Fitzgerald stage, which is the main kind of museum gallery stage. House of Gore is coming back for the 3rd year in a row. I believe this is their 3rd season. They're doing 2 performances like they did last year. One of them is a kids or family-friendly performance, and they're doing a drag version of Little Mermaid, which I'm super excited about. I've seen them posting some content. You can check out their social media for some kind of prep for that. And then they will also be doing Fringe After Dark again this season, which was so much fun last year. It's, goes till after midnight. It's a little bit more of the risque content. Really great crowd. It's so much fun. I definitely recommend you come out to Fringe After Dark. Slumshine by B.G. Ellis. This is also his at least 3rd year. He's been every year that I've been involved. Amazing musician, talks about his struggles with addiction and sobriety. Very artful type music. Definitely would recommend coming. Got RJ Downs, who is this is basically functioning the show as a eulogy for his mother. So it's another heavier one. I have not seen any of RJ Downs' work before, but this sounds really powerful, and I'm really looking forward to getting to see it. And this will be also on the Fitzgerald stage in the museum. I don't want to talk too much about this because it's mine, but this is actually happening right now in North Bay and on the Edge Fringe. This is Quickest Gun in the North. We're doing a staged reading as we're in development of this script with some of my folks from Toronto. So this will be a lot of fun. And that's at Stardust on the Chikora stage. Dead People Are Liking Things on Facebook. This is another touring production coming from down south by RTC. They will also be on the Chikora stage. They have digital screening as well, live stream. They're doing 3 shows. It is like a play, but also sort of like lecture based. Sounds very, very interesting exploration of what mortality looks like in a digital age. So sounds very interesting. I've crossed paths a few times with this performance and never been able to see it from the way it's lined up at other fringes that I've toured to. So I'm super excited to have the opportunity to actually see the show. Jacob Maybe. Jacob is another one of our EARP artists, emerging artist in residency. He is doing it's almost a 1-person show. There is another actor in it, but it's Jacob is a writer who's sort of making this transition into theater, and it's really cool to see that journey. Like he's really started from that kind of like storyteller place and trying to bring his work alive on stage, and it's been a really cool experience to see the development. Jacob did a workshop of this show last year at Fringe. So really excited to share on the Fitzgerald stage in the museum how this piece has developed since then. Super proud of the work that he's put into it. Definitely recommend checking this out. Floor Between Us coming back. Floor Between Us is such a fun group. They do music and sketches, and they're really hard to describe into one single genre, but definitely recommend checking them out. They'll be on the Stardust Chikora stage as well. Sarah Skagen is doing her production of She. She's only doing one production or one performance on Sunday. The show is actually already sold out, but it sounds like it's going to be a very powerful show. She has a very strong cast. It's about intimate partner violence, another heavier one. We're really glad to have her in the festival presenting this powerful work. And she's also one of our emerging artists in residency creators. So I would say buy tickets, but they're sold out. Hopefully, if we're able to, if Sarah's able to present the work again, come see it. 18 and Under Theater. It's called I Don't Want to Talk About It. It's a series of monologues. I think a lot of these creators it's younger performers. Really excited for this one as well. I think they have a podcast up as well, which is another a nice reminder to go check out some of our Fringe podcasts, which have been coming out the last few weeks. Emily, who stepped into my role that I was in previous seasons, did a very good job interviewing. And I did happen to see this podcast. That's why it was on the forefront of my brain. I just watched this one. So definitely check that out and check this piece out. Some of our
I'm
digital.
just gonna jump in
ahead.
to say a quick goodbye to everybody. I have another
You have
meeting
to
to
go.
run to,
Okay.
but all of these shows are going to be fantastic. So please come out, buy tickets, and yeah, continue to hear because I don't even think you're like halfway through the list yet, but I will see you all later, and thank you for watching our roundtable and keep watching.
Thanks,
Bye.
Kate. Awesome. Okay. Rebecca Heron is doing she did an animated piece last year, and it will be a different one. This is Becca and Nico. This will be in the festival this year. Super excited to have her back and involved. This one you can rent online or you can come and see in person in our digital space. And same thing with Kim Kitchen, who has done a very beautiful piece. It's very artistic. It's out of my wheelhouse to fully explain, but it's a very beautiful piece. Kim is from where I'm from in North Bay. So super happy to have Kim involved, and I definitely recommend looking or renting this piece or coming to see it in person. It's really impactful. Nancy Edwards is who Katie will be doing Zoom Q&A with on Saturday. So next Saturday, not this Saturday. So we're super excited to have that being facilitated. And Nancy is from down south. She has submitted this piece, which I believe is around an hour in length. It's a longer one. We'll be streaming this as well. You can rent it, watch it on your own time. But I think this would be a really nice piece to come check out in person in our digital room and then stay for the Q&A afterwards on the Saturday. Theater in Motion. This is Wendy Hamilton's work. Wendy Hamilton, obviously, an amazing figure in theater in Sault Ste. Marie, and we're super happy to have her in the festival presenting some work this season. This will be at the Stardust Chikora stage. It is a workshop of a performance, and I am very excited to see this piece because I have not had the privilege of being able to see Wendy's work before. So this will be very exciting. We got some music coming up. We got the Waybacks, who are actually going to be performing at our opening ceremonies on the 21st. So super excited to have them. They do some kind of old school country, outlaw country type stuff. Yeah, they're going to be really cool. Mark Dunn, MD Dunn, who is also doing some original songs. Yeah, very veteran performer. Super excited to have him also. I just keep saying excited, but I'm out of adjectives and things. But very excited to have him. Yeah. Suicide Records coming back for, they've definitely been pre my time. They've been coming forever. At least for the 3 seasons that I've been involved, and I know they've been involved before then. Amazing people to be working with. They're so talented. Also, Ricky from Suicide Records is going to be one of our buskers doing some juggling, and I think he's going to be doing some juggling during this performance as well. So
Well,
if you want
that's
to be juggling, it's going to be cool.
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw Katie, were you or no, no, you weren't, you wouldn't have been in town. He did some juggling at the sponsorship dinner we did, and he's got these like glowing balls. It was really cool.
Oh, I can't believe I'm missing that. That's so
That's
sad.
awesome. Yeah. Brian Tremblay, who will be coming back again. He was there last year with us. He is a folk singer, a storyteller. This piece is really about his familial connection to the railroad. He did a little bit of a sneak peek for one of his songs at that sponsorship dinner I was just talking about. So Brian's really cool, and super happy to have him back also. Electric Summer Station. This is Owen MK. Owen has been involved for a long time, definitely also before my time. He's a veteran Fringer. Super excited to have Owen back. I was just talking to Owen about some of how he's going to be setting his stage, and it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited to see this performance. O'Rose is a hip hop artist from Thunder Bay. Super excited to have them involved. I'm not super familiar with their work, but in chatting with them and in, checking out some of their stuff as they, have applied to the festival and everything like that, I think they're going to be really great and fit in super well. So yeah, very much so looking forward to having them involved. Lock City's Chorus is a choir group, and they do, as they say here, music from the 40s to present day. They have participated with Fringe in the past, I think before my time, maybe second year Fringe, from what I've heard. And they will also be performing on our outdoor space, which is a really cool space that we've got out behind the museum. It'll be all, tented in, and we've got a cool pop-up stage and everything. It's gonna be a really cool space. So they're gonna be great to have there and check out as well. Super excited for them to be involved. Shay Tull does acoustic type music. I believe they're also doing some other types of art, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, another one of our musicians. From my short time, I've only been living in the city for a few months, but I've seen Shay pop up a few times for different performances. So I know they're a performer that is known in the city. So very happy to have them involved in the festival. Elizabeth Carith is a poet. She also performed at our sponsorship dinner. She is a really incredible storyteller, and also does a lot of interesting like folk kind of crafts. She was the title of her performance is Spinning Yarns, and she was like literally making yarn. I don't even know how to describe it when she was performing. So that was super cool. Yeah, she'll actually be performing at our art gallery space. So that's going to be super cool. That is the Algoma stage. Yeah, over at the art gallery of Algoma. Claire Mitchell, who has performed, this one's easy to keep track of because she's performed 4 times, as it's in the title. Another veteran Fringer who has been performing since before my time. Really excited to have Claire back. Claire has been in our EARP program previously, so we've had the privilege of being able to work close with her on her work, and super excited to have her back. Also, we'll be at the art gallery. Sky Smith. Sky has been performing for the last 2 years with Fringe. It's really been incredible to watch her grow as a creator. This year, she's doing 3 shows. as opposed to the last 2 years, she's only done one show. And last year, if you were at Sky's show, you know it was like overflowing. So this is why we're very excited to see her doing 3 shows this year, so we can hopefully mitigate some of that traffic and have more people be able to see her work, which just sounds absolutely incredible. If you want to check out some of the behind the scenes and like features and stuff that Sky has been working on for this performance, which is called L. I don't know if Sky's social media is private or not, but if it's not, go check it out. She's been posting a ton of really cool behind the scenes content on her social media. It's been getting me very excited to see the show. Aisha Hawes is a R&B performer, R&B musician. She is coming from down south. I can't remember exactly where, but she is coming from down south. Another performer who I was not super familiar with before she applied to the festival, but then once she applied, I was, in speaking to her and checking out her work, it's super cool, and really, I think, unique in Sault Ste. Marie. So very excited to have her on board, and I think she's gonna really blow people away with what she's bringing to the festival this year.
There's a lot more like R&B and hop and
Yeah,
hip
yeah,
hop this year. I'm really excited for that.
yeah, 100%. It's been growing, which is awesome.
I love it.
Yeah. These are some of our visual artists. Samuel does quilting, which I kind of gave a little bit of an overview when we were talking about our visual artists. But yeah, Samuel does quilt work, and they are also doing a workshop where they're kind of talking about their process and that sort of thing. You can check that out. I forget exactly what time it is, but it's on the schedule, which is listed, so you can go check that out as well. With Mimi is our sculptor who is doing basically a bunch of busts of bodies from Northern Ontario. So it's going to be very unique because we haven't had any sculptures in the past, at least from my knowledge. So I'm super happy to have her involved. Carrie Ann is a watercolor artist, Carrie Ann Gawa, who will be at the museum. Super excited. Katie Huxon is coming back this season. Last year, if you were able to check out her work, she basically just did a really cool, like, storytelling type performance, while not like storytelling, but just like experiential performance of sharing a meal and fed everyone this amazing food. So definitely would be worth coming and checking out this performance. Katie's awesome, and the food looked absolutely delicious. I didn't get to partake last year, but I believe this year as well, she's doing, pasta making. So she'll be kind of also showing how to make the food, which is going to be really cool. Fun and Funner, this is some of our kids' content. Fun and Funner is Sarah Skaggan and Aaron Antonello, who are doing a kids' music session, which is going to be really fun. Lucia Lafford is a educator at Algoma, and she's doing a woodland art mural making workshop. And this is actually happening at the art gallery, which is going to be we have a really cool workshop space at the art gallery. And yeah, she's doing Anishinaabe art. I think she has some work around town. The one that she's in front of in this photo looks familiar, but yeah, she's super cool. I had the pleasure of meeting her at our sponsorship dinner. So definitely would be a really, really cool workshop to attend. Then, as Katie mentioned, we have JP Chapman. Yeah,
This is my favorite.
if you want to chat about what your experience was last year with his work.
Yeah, so last year I convinced my older sister to drag her 2 kids out of the house to come to this puppet show, which is mainly just for me, so I can spend time with my niece and nephew and watch a puppet show. But basically what JP does is he created this character, Bobby, and he's a puppet. and he teaches kids how to speak Anishinaabe, which is the traditional language of my people, the Anishinaabe. And I personally love this performance so much because I am a huge language nerd and I've been learning language since I was 14 years old. And it was just so amazing and awesome to like be able to bring my little niece and nephew, my little babies there and show them, you know, what was up and how like learning language can be really fun and done in a way that's, you know, like making you want to actually participate and not just sit in the classroom and be all bored. But it's such an amazing performance and I really recommend it to everyone, even if you're not, you know, Anishinaabe. It's good to learn like the people around you and, you know, who this like, I don't know where this, but just like the traditional languages and teachings of this land, they're very important to know. And I think introducing kids to that in a very, you know, safe space is it's this show to do it with. And I really love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I I I want to say a super cool thing about JP that is on the top of my brain because I was just talking about this recently is he just did a dub of Star Wars in Anishinaabemowin, and I think it just did a like little screening. I was out of town when it happened, but I heard it was super cool. So
Yeah,
it's a
I
cool
really
thing.
wanted to go so bad. All of my
Yeah,
aunts and my uncles and all my family went, but I couldn't go because I'm all the way over here. But
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I really he's doing such important work because it's
Mhm.
you know there's such a struggle to like make language learning interesting, and that's like
Mhm.
languages die when they're just put into a textbook and in a classroom. Like
Yeah.
it's just that like that level of engagement that he brings is amazing. So I definitely recommend anyone to check it out. Even like Katie said, someone who isn't Anishinaabe, like I'm obviously not, but I loved this piece. It was so cool. So definitely recommend.
Super fun, super funny too. Like I was cackling throughout the whole thing. It was
Mm.
just an amazing performance overall.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Uh, then I think we just have two left. Wow,
Yeah.
we have so many artists this year. My Colorful Messes. Susie is a very talented card maker who will be doing a workshop to make cards at the art gallery as well. Um, if you were at our sponsorship dinner, she had some work that was at the auction. So if you want to make some cool cards, I definitely recommend checking out this workshop. And Susie's like the nicest person, so definitely it'll be really cool. And then finally, we have Julia Ringrose from Sault Ste. Marie 4-H. Um, and Julia will be hanging out with us for, I think, about 3 hours on I'm gonna click this because I don't exactly remember what day. On August 24th, so that is the Saturday, Julia will be hanging out with us doing kids crafts for basically the entire duration of the Kids Fringe. So if you want to come check out some of the other pieces and then bring your kids and let them do some cool crafts, Julia will be around. Julia will be making crafts during JP's performance and that sort of thing as well. So it'll be really cool to come to Kids Fringe. There's going to be tons of stuff going on. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. That was a lot of artists,
That
and
was a lot of artists.
I forgot how many there were as I started going through it. I was like, oh my God, this is this is it's really exciting. It's cool how
Mhm.
much we've grown, but oh my God.
It's amazing. I love seeing all the art that just like happens in the zoo and around the zoo and how many people just wanted to like travel and produce their art like there. It's
Mhm.
so cool.
Yeah, well, I'm super excited to welcome the people that are traveling in, but
Mhm.
I think, and I wasn't like thinking as I was going through it, but I think the vast majority are local or like local adjacent, which is super cool. Like we have so many amazing creators in Sioux and Algoma region. It's awesome.
It is awesome. And it's awesome to see that like we've created this space where they can all come together. You can all like access it in one place and just like celebrate all of that. I don't know, I'm kind of geeking out over here about it, but I love it. I love the arts. This is so fun.
Yeah, for sure. Before we wrap up, because honestly I underestimated how much time that would take to going through all the performances. But before we wrap up, you talked about a little bit about what you're excited about this year. Said about so many times. Um, is there anything because this is your second year involved with the festival. What pieces would you love to see next year that you haven't seen? Like, as we're so focused in on next week and the festival, but like looking ahead, what and you know, going through that whole list of artists, is there anything that you'd be super excited to see and people to encourage to apply in future years?
I would definitely love to see some um like indigenous dancing in there. I think it's really cool and
Mhm.
there's a lot more stuff you can do with it now that we have a lot more like urbanized music, like hallucination and DJ show.
Yeah,
Like they make those like kind of hip hop beats with the drums. I think that's so cool. And to have something like that in the festival would just like, oh, it would be so cool to me.
I've seen them perform before and they're so good.
It's so fun. It's so
Yeah,
fun. Kind
yeah,
of flex, but I had a lunch with DJ Show because my school, Trent University, hosts an elders gathering and they had him there. And he was like spinning his tracks and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
that's so cool.
It was amazing.
That's awesome. Super cool. Yeah, I absolutely love that. And we've been trying to encourage more connection with Indigenous artists, and it's definitely grown. We have
Mhm.
a nice number this year, but yeah, I would definitely love to see more. Be super
Mhm.
cool. Yeah, and
So
it's been
like
really
sorry.
no. I was just gonna say it's been great having you in Peterborough, like kind of, you know, building those bridges across, like
Mhm.
not just so localized.
Yeah, it is fun. I didn't like when I don't know, we first started talking about my position here. I was like, oh, how am I gonna do this and kind of navigating it? But it's actually turned out really well, and I'm really like glad that we got to like reach out as far as we did because I feel like a lot more people need to know about, northern artists and arts in the north. It's such an important part of community and being connected with one another, and to be able to do that from like afar and still help my community. I don't know, it's just amazing. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Is there anything else you wanna add before we wrap up our last live stream of the season?
Mm, make sure you get your tickets because they're selling out fast. That's it.
Good advice. Yeah, I second that. Amazing. All right. Yeah, like I said, last live stream of the season. I didn't even like I knew that, but I started doing the intro and I like totally forgot. It's crazy how fast the festival has come up.
For
Less than a week
real.
away now. It's wild.
That's crazy. I can't believe that.
Really, it is. Yeah, I don't know how this happened, but
No, no. It's like I
uh,
blinked and then suddenly it was done and I was like, "Oh, okay."
uh, thank you everyone for tuning in throughout this season. It's been really great to do these, like I said, and it's been really cool to kind of split up the hosting duties throughout this season. Katie did our Indigenous Roundtable again this season, and we had a few other of our artists host a few roundtables, which was super cool. I loved being able to get different perspectives and things like that from the host position.
It's fun hosting them too. It's like
Yeah,
just have a little conversation with people. It's so fun.
it is. It's great. Yeah, I love to keep doing these.
Mhm,
So definitely people keep checking them out because then we can keep doing them.
mhm.
Thanks so much for coming on, Katie.
No
It's
problem.
been great having you. And thanks, Caitlin, who's gone. But uh, and yeah, merci, miigwech, gracias for everyone that's been tuning in throughout the season. Fringe North 2024, August 21st, 25th, next week. Get your tickets now. You can check out our website, all our social media channels in the description below, and get all the information that you need about Fringe North. And if you want to support the work that our team is doing here and make sure that Fringe can keep growing at this pace that we could not have predicted a few years ago, please consider tipping the Fringe. Your support not only helps us support artists, but it helps us support our staff and just the community in general. So we really appreciate anything that you can give, no matter how small. You can find the link for all of that below as well. Next Thursday, we will not be back for a live stream, but you can keep an eye on our YouTube channel because we will certainly be doing some more content through the off season. And if you want more digital content, please check out some of our amazing artists this season and our live streams that are happening from Stardust. Thanks so much. Yeah. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.